What's up, cruisers? Today I wanted to share some information with you about the fastest internet at sea. That's Royal Caribbean's VOOM Surf and Stream internet package. Now we will talk about this, just the surf package as well, but the reason why I want to share this video with you is I guarantee you I will save you either money or time by saving you a trip to guest services by watching this video. Now Kayla and I just got off the Explorer of the Seas out to Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Check out the vlog if you haven't seen it already. We just released the first video. But the number one complaint I probably hear on all cruising is something to do with the Wi-Fi package, whether you can't connect, whether the speed's too slow, or it's not what people expected. So right here, I'm just about to clear the air with you, and that way you can set your expectations as to what you're actually purchasing before you get on the cruise. Now I'm going to share with you 5 things plus one bonus thing at the end, which I guarantee that's the number one reason people probably go to guest services. But first, I just want to dive into really briefly what is the internet package and what each one offer, and we'll go through the pricing really fast. Okay, so this here is just going to show the difference between the VOOM Surf voyage package and the VOOM Surf and Stream voyage package. So the title pretty much gives away what each one is going to offer. So you'll get the 24-hour access with the VOOM Surf voyage package. You'll be able to browse the web, send messages and emails, and chat on Messenger. You're not going to be able to do anything else. This option here is great if you're just looking to keep in touch. Although the VOOM Surf and Stream isn't that much more expensive, so personally I don't see an area where I would just get the VOOM Surf. If I was going to do the internet package, I would most likely do the VOOM Surf and Stream because really the price difference isn't that much more. Now for the VOOM Surf and Stream voyage package, you're going to get everything that the VOOM Surf voyage package offered, but you're also going to get live video chats, streaming music, videos, movies, TV shows, and live stream and post on social media. Now we'll get into the details of cost. Here is one of my future cruise planners. As you can see, Ovation of the Seas, May 11th to 19th. We're going out to Alaska. This here is the cruise planner for the Wi-Fi package. It is in US dollars. There's a couple things I wanted to talk about on this page. Okay, so I figured the best way to explain this would be to how Kayla and I do it. When we buy the Wi-Fi package, we just purchase the one device. Now you can log in and out between each other. So for example, if Kayla wants to use the Wi-Fi, she can log on, do her thing, and I can then log back on and it'll kick her off. We share the one device. We heard of a story of people buying one device multiple times, thinking that that's the way for them to get multiple devices, when here you can see on the cruise planner you can go number of devices 1 to 4, and if you reference the pricing over on the top right, it says only $12.99 per day for each additional device. So if you did want to purchase multiple devices, that would be the way to do it, not purchasing one a bunch of times. The other thing I wanted to say is, even if you're a group of 4, it doesn't necessarily mean you should purchase 4 devices. Now, if all of you are on the Wi-Fi all the time, then you know what's going to be best for you and your family. But say, for example, you had parents and 2 kids, and you went with 2 devices for the kids, and you just wanted to bounce around who had the Wi-Fi at certain times. Say when the kids are asleep, mom and dad can go on the Wi-Fi, and then during the day, the kids can play on their iPads or whatnot. So you can just share within each other. You don't need to purchase a device for everybody. Now that we know how the devices work and how they can be shared, and basically what each package offers, now it's time to talk about the 5 things I mentioned with you earlier. Number 1, and probably the most important thing you need to know, is that the connectivity and the speed will be unreliable. Now there are areas in the ship where it's completely non-existent. For example, if you're in your stateroom, we could not connect at all on the Explorer of the Seas, but when we are in an area on the Lido deck or in the Solarium, that's when we can connect. And if you actually see here, I'm going to show you a video of our iPhone here trying to connect to the internet and just doing simple things like loading Google, and we also will try to load an Instagram reel from our Instagram page, and it just spins forever, and eventually I kind of just give up because it's just not able to do the task. It's not what we had in mind when you see Surf and Stream fastest internet at sea. So just be aware that the connectivity and the speed is going to be unreliable and even unresponsive throughout the ship. Number 2, and this just kind of echoes my point from earlier, so you can share one device with multiple people. That's just a quick reference point, but what I mean here is that depending on the amount of your party, you can strategize how many devices you have, and the way that the login works is that, say you have a party of 4 and 2 people are on the Wi-Fi, and then the 3rd person wants to log in. Well, you all have one login, and then that person will try to log in. It'll say you're at your maximum amount of devices. Do you basically want to proceed? And if you hit yes, it'll kick one person off I'm not sure how that works. Maybe the first person that connected, and then the other person will now be able to connect, and then you'll have a different set of 2 of the 4 people connected at once, if that makes sense. Number 3 is that older ships and the ships without the Starlink are just going to be slower than you think. Now, you saw my clip from earlier showing the phone barely being able to do anything. The number 1 complaint I hear is that the Wi-Fi speed is really bad. And I know Royal's working on this. They've implemented, I think I saw an article in Royal Caribbean blog that stated that 4 ships, and that was from November, October of last year. I'll put it in the description below, but it was like Liberty, Independence, Freedom, and I believe Enchantment all saw upgrades with Starlink, and they're promising to get a lot of the other ships or all of them done in 2023. But right now, it would be good to know if you're on a cruise and you're thinking about buying the Wi-Fi package, has your ship been upgraded? Because if not, it's going to be pretty slow and you might not be able to do the things you expected. So for example, if you're trying to keep the kiddos entertained with movies, maybe don't rely that you're going to be able to stream Netflix, and pre-download those movies just in case. Number 4, and this is kind of a silly way to look at it, but I think it's the way to go, and it's just to go in with low expectations. Because you want to know what you're purchasing, and if this way you're going in with low expectations and it's better than you thought, then you're going to be happy. But if you go in knowing that the Wi-Fi is probably not going to be very good, you're probably not going to be able to stream very many videos without getting super annoyed of it constantly buffering, and you're just going to be able to keep in touch with folks at home, maybe get a live stream off, that sort of thing, then you'll be fine. So just know what you're purchasing here, and I think you'll be a lot less frustrated once you get on board. Lastly, number 5, and I actually have 2 tips here. The first one is the Royal app can be a great way to communicate on the ship. I don't know if you know this, but it's $2 a day to use the Royal app, and you can actually communicate within each other on the ship. Now, this has also kind of got an asterisk to it, because what happens here is that sometimes you'll send a message and the other person may not receive it for a long period of time. What we experience is my friend would send me a message in the night, and then I wouldn't load up the Royal app messaging part of the app until the morning, and then that's when I would receive the message. I wouldn't actually get the notification. So it can be a bit spotty. Sometimes I got the notification, but I think generally it's a good way to leave a message, but the other person needs to also check in on the messages, because I don't think they're going to send you a notification like you would in the messenger. Although we did receive it sometimes, I'm just saying that it's not going to happen all the time. My other point here is if you're just using it as a great way to check in from time to time, you can also just do what your mobile service provider may have, is that's just like a roam like home. And I just wanted to share with you, when we were in Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, it was anywhere from $12 to $15 a day once we were on the islands. So don't think you have to purchase the Wi-Fi. You can also get free Wi-Fi somewhere on the island. Like if we wanted to, we could probably just go to a local restaurant and have free Wi-Fi. So don't think you're not going to have any communication with your folks back at home or not being able to check it on any emails or anything like that. We just opt to purchase the Wi-Fi on the ship because we have a dog at home, and we just like to keep touch with the daycare provider we leave her with, and it just makes us feel better while we're away. And if you're in a similar situation, or if they're kids or that sort of thing, then I'd recommend buying the Wi-Fi package. But it's okay to disconnect and then just check in on the islands. You can do that for free. And if you're budget cruisers like us, that just might be the way to go for you. Now this last one, bonus number 6. If you stayed this long, you're going to be thankful, because this is probably another big reason people end up at guest services, and I just found this out myself on the last cruise. Often you're trying to log in and your phone is not getting prompted for that login page, especially when you're switching between multiple people at once, and it's so annoying. I went to guest services, or just before guest services, the guy caught me in line, and he said that you can actually, now I don't know if you necessarily feel comfortable doing this, but if you go into the settings of the Wi-Fi and you turn off private Wi-Fi addresses, and then go to your browser and type in login.com or onboardicafe.com. This prompted my phone to load up the Royal login page, and we were able to sign in. So many times for the first couple days, I would forget the network, I would reconnect, I would turn off my Wi-Fi, I'd turn off my phone. I couldn't get the dang thing to prompt me to sign into the internet. I was like, But now we went to guest services and now it worked every time. So keep that link in mind, login.com or onboardicafe.com. It's going to save you so much frustration. I found this was only an issue when you were switching between multiple people logging in and out. If you're just constantly connected, you might not run into that problem, but this was a headache saver for us. So I hope you enjoyed the video today, and I hope I saved you a bit of time and money and shared a bit more information with you when you opt in to buy the fastest internet at sea. Again, if you took anything away from this video today, please like and subscribe. I'm going to share more cruising educational series, and also we're going to continue releasing out our Explorer of the Seas vlog. Our next cruise coming up is going to be on the Carnival celebration. We can't wait. It's our first Carnival cruise. We can't wait to see all the comparisons. And then in May, we're going to Alaska, and I'm super excited about that. I've always wanted to check that one out. So make sure to subscribe and follow along, and we'll see you next time.